welcome back to my channel. So today I've got this 3 looks 1 palette video using the Tarte Tarteist Pro palette. I really love this palette. It is so good. There are so many colours and I feel like it's just pretty versatile. It is mostly matte shadows though. There's only 4 shimmers and usually I like a little more diversity in the shimmer shades, but I would prefer this to all shimmers and no mattes. The quality of these shadows are amazing. They're very similar to the Anastasia shadows from Modern Renaissance. They probably don't have quite as much kickback as the Modern Renaissance does, but they still have a lot of kickback. But they're super pigmented, super easy to blend. I'd probably say these ones blend easier than Modern Renaissance. So I love this palette, expect many more tutorials using this. But yeah, if you'd like to see how I got this and 2 other looks, then just keep watching.
So this first look is a very basic one. It is just a simple smoky eye with winged liner and paired with some red lips. I'm first taking the shade Innocent and I'm buffing this into the crease. I'm building the shade up, making sure it stays super blended the whole time, and I'm also going to take the shade onto the lower lash line. Next I'm taking the shade Whimsy and I'm putting this in pretty much the exact same place, just a little more precisely. I'm not going to bring it up quite as high as I did with the previous shade. As usual, I'm winging the shadow out because that's what I like to do with my eye shape. I'm going to focus this a little on the outer third and also again just running it onto the lower lash line. Next I am taking the shade Edgy and again I'm just putting it in the same area, deepening up the crease a little more, getting ready to put on a much deeper and darker lid shade, and I'm just going to go in with a bigger fluffier brush to make sure it's super blended. Next I'm taking the shade Smoked and I'm going to pack this all over the center of the lid. I'm making sure to build this up to its full intensity. Then I'm just going in with the brushes I used earlier with a little bit of product left on them, and I'm just making sure that that lid shade blends into the crease shades. And again, I'm just going to bring this onto my lower lash line as well. I'm putting this really precisely on there. And then again, just going in with the brush I used earlier to blend it all out. And then I'm going in with a clean brush with no product on it and just making sure there are no harsh lines. As usual, I've blended higher than I would like, so I'm going in with Vintage on my brow bone to clean that up a little. And next I'm just taking my Kat Von D tattoo liner and I'm just doing a wing the way I always do it. This eyeliner is so amazing, I completely forgot how easy it is to do a wing with this liner. And next I'm going in with the shade Glam and I'm just using this to highlight my inner corners. And next I'm just coating my top and bottom lashes with some mascara. This is just my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. And then I'm just popping on some falsies. These are my Cocoa lashes in the style Queen Bee. And for my lips, I am going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Ashton. For some reason, this lipstick looks so red on me. On everyone else, it's like a nude-ish orangey red, but on me, it's just like pure red. It's so strange. Alright, so that is it for the first look. Again, it's just very simple. It's just a basic smoky eye. The next look is very simple as well, but this one's a halo eye. It adds that little bit of shimmer into it. So I'm starting off with the shade Chick. This shade is very light, but it can be built up to a relatively dark transition color, so I'm just putting that into the crease and really building it up to its full intensity. I'm going to also focus this on the outer third and drag it onto the lower lash line, as I always do. Next I'm taking the shade Innocent, and this is a similar shade. It's a little more orange though, and I'm putting this in pretty much the exact same area. Next I'm taking the shades No Filter and Mod, and I'm starting off the halo eye. I'm going to be putting these into the inner and outer thirds, making sure they are super blended as I go. I'm not going to bring these too far into the crease though. I'm going to mainly focus them on the inner and outer thirds. I'm also just going to bring this onto my lower lash line. And I'm just going in with a bigger, fluffier brush to make sure the edges are super blended. Next, I'm going in with the shade Drama and Vamp, and I'm putting this in the exact same areas, but I'm being a lot more precise with it. I'm just deepening up those areas. I'm really not bringing these into the crease at all. They're just staying in the inner and outer thirds. And I'm just going to bring this onto the lower lash line as well. And next I'm taking the shade Punk, and I'm not going to put this into my inner corner, I'm just putting this into my outer corner and onto the lower lash line to deepen it up even more. And I'm just taking the beauty blender that I had used to apply my foundation that still has a bit of product left on it, and I'm just cleaning up the shadow with this. Next I'm taking the shade Minx. I've just wet my brush with Fix Plus, and I'm just going to pack this all over the center of the lid where I left space with the previous shadows. And next I'm taking the shade Ethereal, and I'm just putting this really precisely right in the center of the lid just to give it a little more dimension, a little more shine, and this will make my eyes seem a little bigger. And then I'm just going to coat my top and bottom lashes with my Tarte Lights Camera Lashes mascara. And then I'm just popping on falsies. These are my Cocoa lashes in the style Risque. And I'm just going over the top of that with my Kat Von D tattoo liner to hide the lash band. And then for lips, I'm just going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Dusty Rose. Alright, so that is the second look done. Personally, this one is my favourite, but my favourite colour is pink, so I may be a little biased. This last look is a lot more dramatic. I've gone for a half cut crease using this duochrome green kind of shade. I'm first just going in with Chick as my transition colour again. I'm just buffing this into the crease. I'm bringing this right into that inner third because that's where I'm going to cut the crease, and I want it to be a noticeable cut. Next I'm taking the shade Profesh, and I'm going to be putting this into the crease as well, a little more precisely. I'm starting off with this fairly light and building it up as I go because it's a very cool toned purple shade, and these shades tend to look a bit grey on my skin tone if I go in too dark with them, so I'm just building it up to make sure I don't go too dark. And I'm just going in with a big fluffy brush occasionally, making sure it's super blended and also bringing it onto my lower lash line. Next I'm taking the shade Mod, and again I'm bringing this into my crease. This shade is obviously a lot more intense than the previous ones, so I'm again building this up, starting lightly so that I don't go in really heavy and it's really hard to blend. Again I'm making sure I bring it into that inner third so that the cut of the cut crease is noticeable. I'm also going to be focusing this more on the outer third and also sweeping it onto my lower lash line. Next I'm going in with the shade Drama, and I'm just using this to deepen up the outer third and lower lash line a little more. Next I'm taking my Anastasia concealer in the shade 0.5. I'm using this to cut the inner half of my crease. I'm making sure to bring it above my natural crease. I do have slightly hooded eyes, so this will just make sure that you can actually see the work I've done when my eyes are open. And then I'm taking the shade Trendy, and I'm packing this all over where I put the concealer, making sure that I keep that nice sharp line where my crease is. Next, to define the crease a little more, I'm taking my NYX Glam Liner, this is the turquoise shade, and I'm just drawing a line where I cut the crease. This isn't too noticeable because it is pretty much the same shade as that shadow that I put on, but when it catches the light, it will be a little more reflective than the shadow. And next I'm just taking the shade Punk, and I'm using this to deepen up the outer third a little more because I didn't think it was quite deep enough for how intense the cut crease is. I'm also going to bring this onto the lower lash line to deepen that up more. And then I'm just going in with a big fluffy brush to make sure there are no harsh lines. And then again just going in with my Kat Von D tattoo liner to do a wing. And then I'm just taking the shade Glam to highlight my inner corners. Once again, just applying some Tarte Lights Camera Lashes to my top and bottom lashes. And then just applying my Cocoa Lashes in the style Queen Bee again. And to finish the look off, I am once again taking an Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick. I did not do this intentionally. This one is just in the shade Crush, and it is one of my all-time favorite nude lipsticks. And that completes this third and final look.
So that is all of the looks using the Tarte Tarteist Pro palette. If you want to see more 3 looks 1 palette tutorials with other palettes, let me know. I've got quite a few other palettes that I would be able to do that with. If you did like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in my next video.